Hey, what's up, folks? This is Nate here. I'm going to be doing a video review over Frosted Caribou's video of how did Pokemon TCG get here. It's a really good video. She did a lot of good points of basically how the money side is consuming the Pokemon hobby. She did very good video editing. She did a very fabulous job, and if you want to check the video out, I'll just link the video below. So in her video, she breaks down sellers, collectors, TCG players, and content creators. She also mentions a lot about Logan Paul, Leonhart, Real Breaking Nate, Illicit League. Basically, just saying the content creators should be more responsible because it seems like it's all about money making now. And with content creators, it seems like they have to keep feeding the beast, to push out for more views. They have to buy more product or vintage product, or break a case or two cases and pull insane amount of Charizards. It's just feeding the beast. And now about scalping. And thing about COVID-19, this never started. This started uh, when COVID hit, the pandemic hit. And let's rewind a couple of years back. She brings up TCG players as the harder community. Um, the reason I disagree with this is because it's not just TCG players; it is collectors as well. They are on the same coin. Um, Now she mentions TCG players is the least talked about. I disagree with that. I see tons of videos of TCG players, tournaments, live videos. They're always talked about. And yes, there's not the money side of it, but they are talked about. They are given the love and the spotlight. Now, let's just cover over some things. Years ago, before COVID-19, let's rewind. Even let's go back uh, a year prior to Pokemon Go, when I finally got back into the loop of collecting Pokemon again. XY evolutions. No one cared about it. The only people that cared about it is really people who collected Charizards. And I bought a box like in the nostalgic art. Not just collecting Charizards, but the nostalgic art of it. And I bought that box pretty cheap. And I asked one TCG player, and I was like, "Hey, he's a judge, and he told me like the sets is for collectors. He told me straight up that the set's a garbage set. TCG players won't touch it. It's a garbage set. Now, I want you to understand, Pokemon Company pushes out sets for collectors and TCG players. And now, if you go to Target or Walmart, okay, what is the one product you see most on the shelves? Guessed it, Magic. It just sits there. Because Magic only caters to TCG players. Now, can you imagine Pokemon only catered to TCG players? It would be sitting on the shelf just like Magic. Um, but Pokemon is very smart. They know there's collectors out there, and for years, collectors were never given the spotlight. They were not talked about as much. They're just there. They love collecting. They love grading, and they were never given the spotlight. And I'm going to tell you some prices I got my Pokemon cards at. So a year prior to Pokemon Go, I got four first edition boosters for 350 to 450 each. Yes, you heard me. $350 to $450 each. Where was the care back then? No one cared. No one cared about buying a $10,000, first edition booster now. What's going for now? It's because the pandemic has flipped the tables now. There's no gaming going on. There's no tournaments going on. So the tables have flipped, and people have to make money. So rip and chips to me are like lemonade stands. The nowadays modern day of lemonade stands. People have to make money. People have to put food on their table. And a lot of over the years, collectors didn't get the spotlight. I got a first edition Charizard for $300. Base set Charizards were going for $50. I would go on a rip and chip, and I bought a base set booster pack for $50 and pulled a Venusaur on it. Those prices are not even compared to what the prices are today. And honestly, I wish Logan Paul didn't get into it or the hype. I want the hype to go away, because the scalping's bad enough. But here's the thing: no one cared. No one cared back then, and there was a lot of gaming tournaments going on for Pokemon TCG, and there was a lot of that going on and still going on. But we have to understand that there's the collectors and the TCG players, and they are both part of the community. It's just now, because there's no gaming going on, tables have flipped. And now you have bigger content creators like Logan Paul just feeding into the beast. She brings up a lot about Leonhart. Uh, and she brings up Leonhart meeting up with Logan Paul. Well, the thing is, like, he gave up his career being a lawyer, and he risked a lot, to jumpstart his Pokemon YouTube channel. I mean, he has donated cards to children. He's done a lot of good things for the community. But the question is she brings out the money-making side of content creators, and the thing is she's doing the same thing. So she's creating content with Pokemon and making money at the same time, criticizing other content creators doing the same thing. And that's my biggest thing on it. Now, she says and mentions about, it's more than just chasing the shiny Charizard. Well, let's just be honest. Charizard pushes product. It pushes large amounts of product. Now, the thing is that people have been kind of like, you don't need another Charizard. It's like Charizard back to back. The reason why Pokemon Company has pushed out Charizard after Charizard after Charizard, beginning with Darkness Ablaze, Champion's Path, and now Shiny Fates back to back, is because of the pandemic. Usually, Pokemon Company does, set for TCG players, maybe a couple sets between, and then they'll push out a collector set with a chase card of Charizard, because they know they just put one Charizard in it, it will sell. And that's pretty much Champion's Path. I can say Champion's Path is a garbage set, because you can't get your money back on it. And Shiny Fates, for example, to me, it's hard to get your money return on it. If you don't pull the Shiny Charizard, it feels like you're just breaking even. Hidden Fates is a very good set, because not only has a bunch of shinies in it, but you can get a good return on your investment. But we have to understand that there's collector sets and TCG sets. Now, because there's no tournaments going on, they're going to be pushing more and more collector sets, and I'm not surprised by it. Now, when this pandemic ends, tables are going to flip, and it's going to flip pretty hard. Now, as collectors, I know a lot of Charizard collectors out there that are burned out. It's not just Pokemon that's being scalped; it's sport cards. People can't find any sport cards, and you have to understand who are the sellers. The sellers are basically people. You have to understand, people work in teams to buy up everything. They literally put a GPS tracker on the vendor. It's getting that bad, backdoor deals, and all that shenanigans going on. You have to understand, it's a vicious game right now. It's high demand and low supply. Now, we can blame scalpers all we want. Okay, we can blame Logan Paul we want, but Pokemon Company, well, we have to look at the Pokemon Company as well. Each set, if you notice, especially for collector sets, they put one or two chase cards in it, like, for example, Shiny Fates. Why didn't they put the Marnie chase card in it? Why? Because they want to put out another set putting Marnie in it, and from what I heard, Marnie is a really good card for the TCG gaming. But at the same time, they want to make sets with least amount of chase cards so they can make you spend more of your money. So it seems like now they're pushing out more sets and having a supply issue. So everyone's kind of like to blame here. It's not just content creators. It's not just Logan Paul. It's not just COVID-19. it's a whole mesh of factors, kind of like the ultimate storm, you know. Um, so with Pokemon, they put at least chase cards in a set, and they make people spend money, more and more of their money, and they're going to continue to do this. So why not Pokemon Company put more chase cards so people get more of their value instead of putting one chase card and making multiple sets? If you look at the Japanese sets, they're completely different. Japanese didn't come out Champions Path. I wonder why. You know. Sorry, I'm just reading basically my notes here. But those are like the one things I want to cover is over the years collectors didn't get the spotlight at all. They were never talked about. Um, you know, I would see a first edition booster box for $10,000, and to me back then that was a lot of money. That's how long I've been collecting. When when I could get a Shadow's Charizard for $100. Um, Now, being the collector's side, collectors haven't got the spotlight at all until now. And just let collectors enjoy their moment. That's what I'm saying. Is because after this pandemic ends, it's going to go back to normal. TCG players are going to go be playing their game, and collectors are basically the prices are going to fall for collectors for a bit, and things are going to reside back to normal. And the TCG game is very fun, but you have to understand the two components: what pushes product. So right now, collectors are pushing product, scalpers. So you have sport people buying up Pokemon, Pokemon buying sports, and then making trades, or people buying up whole inventory and selling on eBay. Then you have these new flock of people from watching Logan Paul flocking into the community and buying more and more sets. But that's just my take on the video. She did a very fabulous job, but there's some things I want to go over from a collector's side or collector's point of view. And I don't think people that try to make money off of Pokemon should have a guilt trip, you know, because everyone has to make money. Money is what pushes product end of the day. Um, and there's a lot of blame going on, a lot of, you know, we should blame this person, we should blame other people, we shouldn't be doing that. Um, there's a lot of factors, especially with this pandemic going on. Um, so with people trying to make money off Pokemon, I don't blame them. You know, what if they have kids to feed? You know, them selling one of their first edition cards for $500 could, you know, make a month of food putting on their table. Everyone has a purpose. Everyone has a goal. You know, TCG players have their different priorities. Collectors have their different priorities. Like I was making XY Evolutions as an example. TCG players didn't buy XY Evolutions because that set was geared mainly towards collectors. Now, because collectors are having a field day during this pandemic, that's why X Evolutions have soared through the roof, because it has the nostalgic art in it, has the nostalgic Charizard in it, and no one cared about that a couple of years ago. No one cared about it. And those are the things I want to bring up about collectors and TCG players in our video review. So um, I want things to reside back to normal. I don't honestly. I want the hype to go away because now collectors are getting burned out too. They can't keep up with going to stores and finding nothing, or you know they're competing against scalper teams, literally working in teams. Um, but I just want to go over other factors than just Pokemon itself. So that's just my video review. So that's all I want to say, and this is just my opinion. But I'd love to have a constructive conversation with you guys over this issue. And all right, happy hunting, collecting, or playing the game. All right, peace later.